Okay, welcome back to High Yanxiety. I'm your host, Chris Vitali. I'm joined today by Mr. Chris Orosco. How are you, sir? Pleasure. First time
Doing
here.
all right, doing all right. First
Good,
time
man.
anywhere.
Good. Really? You shut in or
Yeah.
something? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just never been invited to be on a podcast, so I'm new to this.
Yeah, don't
Got to
worry.
put my
It's
hymen somewhere.
exactly. We're gentle. So Frank Gulino's back, a returning champion and the birthday boy. You may know him as Yanxiety. How you doing? Happy birthday! And yeah,
Thank
man,
you so much. I'm doing great. I'm here with my Yanxiety coffee mug. That
nice.
really
I got
made,
Louis T on going right now.
really made my day. But
Nice. Very
see,
nice.
we're all
That is a
having
Little homemade
great
enchilada.
Nice. Oh man. Well, listen, the winter meetings are upon us. Sunday, it begins in beautiful San Diego. The Yankees don't seem to be doing much except for pissing people off. Between Don Mattingly, now Aaron Judge. That seems to be where they're at right now. Before we get started with Aaron Judge, I wanted to ask you guys about the Mattingly thing because we talked about it on the last one, and I was a little bit in a lather, a little pissed off, and in the light of day, I'm still pissed off that that's that Mattingly winds up going to Toronto, and they couldn't find a spot for him in the organization. But let's start with the birthday boy.
I'm wondering.
Frank. What do you think about that?
I mean, Mattingly is somebody that every Yankee fan idolizes a little bit, right? One of the great hitters in his peak. One of the great defensive first basemen of all time. You get the feeling that he's the kind of guy who makes a positive impact anywhere he goes, whether it's a team like the Marlins or, maybe a team that's actually going to contend. And so you hate to have somebody of his pedigree and experience and everything, going to another team in the same division, especially because everybody identifies him as a Yankee. He was a career Yankee as a player. Everybody wants to see him in pinstripes. And here he is with the Toronto Blue Jays as their bench coach. And, who knows if that's, a position that's going to let him springboard into another manager gig somewhere or what. But, I think even though it's just a coaching role, that makes Toronto a better team. And it's tough,
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of painful. Chris, I know, who doesn't love Don Mattingly? What do you think about him going in the division into a team like who, loves to just kind of
it's tough. He was a captain, and Jeter was a captain, and they had that that rumor about they might be both at the desk.
Yeah.
But obviously Mattingly wanted to be in baseball and not talk about it. You guys said that on your last podcast, but he managed with the Dodgers, then he went to the Marlins, and now he's with the Blue Jays. And it's tough to see, like you guys said, if Judge is going to look at that and look at how the Yankees pursue former players and former captains. And he's being offered the captaincy to re-sign with the Yankees, but if he wants to be a Yankee for life, I mean, I would want to be a Yankee during my playing time and after. So if they're going to let Donnie Baseball go to the Blue Jays, I mean, I don't know how good that looks to Judge.
No, I agree with you. I mean, at the same time, they screw, and this goes all the way back. This is well before Cashman. This goes all the way back to Babe Ruth. I mean, they told him he could manage someday, and never happened. He wound up it was like the Boston Braves, I believe. He wound up with managing. It didn't work out well, but I mean, generally they're pretty good with their players. But I mean, Cashman is everybody from Goose Gossage to Jeter to Mattingly now, and now like you said, Chris, I like that. I mean, I don't like it, but I like what you said. I mean, if Judge sees that, the only thing is, I don't know if he is. It's going to take a hell of an offer for somebody to pry him away from the Yankees, though. I mean, that's just what I think. I mean, it's. I mean, he's from San Francisco. Does he want to go play at home? Is it worth that much to him to just go play at home? Or do you think he's just like, hell with it? I mean, take a little bit less for the hometown discount and play in New York. Frank, where do you see him going, and what do you see him doing?
God, I mean, you hope he stays in New York, because he's really set up to have the kind of career that makes even superstars envious. If he can be a one franchise guy, right? He came up with the Yankees. He was developed by the Yankees. He's had these historic seasons. His rookie year, breaking the home run record, winning the MVP, hitting 62. I mean, the guy can be a Yankee for life. He can wear the pinstripes. Everybody loves him. He says the right things. He's got the right character. One of the great offensive seasons that baseball's ever seen. He could be the captain, retire as a Yankee. Who wouldn't love to see that? And I mean, you mentioned a hometown discount. Who knows how much less it is? I mean, the Yankees have money. They can spend money. And truthfully, any contract that he's going to get is, beyond life-changing. And it's going to be big, and it's going to be quite big. And I think just having that kind of permanent spot with the team makes it easier down the road to attract other guys that want to be part of that culture, want to play alongside Judge, want to win championships every single year. We see hyper talented players like Trout and Ohtani toiling in Anaheim, right? And I get it. Like, maybe some other team that's in a rebuild or that wants to turn around is going to offer him like break the bank kind of money. But what kind of culture do you want to be part of on the other side? And I just feel like he should want to seize this opportunity to be the captain of the New York Yankees.
You would think he would. I mean, it's, for every reason you said, you would think he would want to do that. And, I mean, the thing is, and you say, they're the Yankees, they have money. They can spend money. They print money, for the love of God. I don't know if you guys saw Joel Sherman's column today about some of the contracts that they're stuck with right now. I mean, like, you have Donaldson's contract. You've got Hicks's contract. To a lesser extent, DJ LeMahieu, who I think will be fine if they can ever figure out what the hell's wrong with his foot. But
right. That middle toe is suffering because of big toe.
The little piggy's not going to market, my man. That's not, they need to figure that one out. But what's the Chris? I mean, these contracts that they do have, Stanton, obviously. These are big money deals, and I mean, do you think Hal was just full of it when he said, "I don't care, I'll do whatever it takes to sign Judge"? Well, you think that was just lip service to the fans? Because I don't know.
I think he's got to sign Judge to something big, and that 300 for was it 8? It's big. It's big. And San Francisco is going to go over that. So it depends on how much Hal wants to go over that. And I hope he got in cash and he said, "Hey man, you got to do something to move Donaldson and to move Hicks and to get some money off these books so that we can put some people around Judge, because we got a good team, but I mean, with Judge, haven't been able to get over the top yet. So
yeah,
I don't know. Even signing Judge with that monster contract, we still need a starting pitcher. And I don't know if you guys just saw, but I didn't really want DeGrom to begin with because there's another guy with the injuries prone.
Yeah.
He had how many starts last season? DeGrom he just signed with Texas.
No, he did not. Really?
Texas
just
picked him up right now. Just now.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Is this some kind of weird? You're not
Texas Rangers
right?
announced signing of DeGrom, 5 years, 185.
Holy crap! There it is. Wow. Okay. Well,
so
another one off the
table.
Another one off the
Carlos
board.
Carlos Rodon is the next big name, and
I like
Rodon. He would be great at pinstripe.
I mean, yeah, I have no problem with Rodon, but wow. Okay, so that just changes. Okay, that gives us something to talk about in real time here. Holy Moses! All right.
Now, at the beginning of the offseason,
talking about Josh Donaldson. Holy Moses, man, that's crazy.
I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the offseason, I said something like, DeGrom strikes me as a future former Ranger great.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So we're on to something. But, speaking of guys with injury,
they paying these guys? Wow, they have a lot of money involved in like 3 guys.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
some free agent signings that they have.
Blew my mind. Yeah, they're passing with it. Holy crap,
5
years. Wow. Okay.
So DeGrom is a guy that's gotten hurt a lot, but we're talking about giving Judge huge money. He's played 150 games twice. He's played 140 games only 3 times.
Yeah.
And he's 6'7", 282. Every time he slides, it's like a collision with the earth, right?
So frightening.
And yeah, diving catches, like, you know,
because he plays hard.
He plays
Hold your
hard.
breath every time, though.
Plays a lot of center field. He's a great defender. He loves playing defense. He loves being out there. He runs the bases hard. He was second on the team in stolen bases, right? I mean, he's going for it. And so a big guy like that hits the deck how many times a season? And you're going to sign him to a 9-year, 10-year contract. And this is a guy who he's already missed significant time with injuries. Yeah. And so, you know, I get that the team kind of has to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, do you blow him away with money or do you blow him away with term? You know, I mean, in that regard, where it's like, you know, I mean, do you give him 320 maybe, so he gets his 40 million, you know, boom, he can say he got that, and you still only have him for 8 years. That 9th year, I mean,
I think they keep it in the range of 8, though.
Get a little ugly, you know. But
yeah, I think they keep it in the range of 8.
Yeah, I think
even if they got to go over,
it takes him to his age 39 season.
Right. And you eat the last 3 or 4 seasons, and you hope the first 4 he does something more than just one. One is it's the bare minimum if you're paying him that much. Bare minimum for him to get us just one.
I mean,
but you hope that first 4 years.
You're talking about a guy who's one head first slide away from half a season injury, and you know, it just or his legs. That's what I'm worried about, are his legs. I mean, the guy's
and you were saying with his injury and his first couple of seasons being injured as much, I think it was him trying to impress his first couple of years on the team and being as big as he is, going all out like he's gone all out. And his last couple of seasons, he's been pretty healthy. So I think now he's comfortable in his skin in the big leagues, and he's not pushing himself to where he needs to be. So if he just stays in his lane, I think he'll be all right as far as injuries go. But every time he dives for a ball, every time he slides stealing, it's it's so scary.
Yeah. And I mean, we sort of saw the same thing with guys like Harper and Acuna, like these high energy, like strong dudes who came up and played 200% and wound up getting hurt because they were such gamers. And it's like, you hate to tell a player to scale that back at all, but there comes with maturity, like pacing yourself, realizing that 162 is a long season. And if you're the Yankees, you're planning to play into, deep into October also. And so, I mean, I'm hoping that Judge kind of like, he's arrived and he's going to play 155 a year. You know, I would love to see him have this year, several more times.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I think having Harrison Bader in there at center field is really going to help. He can go back playing right field. I mean, he's great in right field. He's got a rocket, cannon of an arm, like Jay Buhner. What the hell did you trade Jay Buhner for? You got a rocket of an arm?
Judge hit 97 on the gun thrown from right field.
Yeah, that's perfect. Just leave him there. You're not going to go first and third on him. I like it. I don't think he goes anywhere. I think at the end of the day, he winds up in New York. I mean, I really do. I mean, unless LA wants to sneak in and just blow him out of the water, which they could, but I don't know. I don't think he's going anywhere. I mean, it would be nice to get rid of, say, Donaldson and Hicks, but that's kind of like trading away your old broken down Pinto for something. What are you going to get for it? I mean, I don't know what the value you're going to get. You're going to have to eat a lot
of those contracts.
Yeah. So,
and I mean, Hicks is $10 million a year. So compared to what new free agents would command, it's a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if they eat half of the contract, I mean, that's $5 million.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a team could take a flyer on him for $5 million, maybe 4.5, 5. If the
I
Yankees
think you
pick
need.
up the rest. Donaldson, who the hell's going to take Josh Donaldson? Really?
Nah,
Let's be honest here. I mean, yeah, he plays a decent third base, but his bat is non-existent. It looks like he's swinging a pool noodle. I mean, he just looks overmatched every at bat. So
and the word's out, throw him heat. He ain't catching up.
Yeah, throw it upstairs, and he's not catching up to that. I mean, his bat just slowed down too much. Maybe he needs to go to one of those hitting gurus or something and get up there with a PVC pipe. I don't know, but I mean,
he needs to snap it.
He needs to snap it. That's what it is. He needs to snap it, man. Bastard. But I mean, we'll see. It's I mean, as far as other trade targets, do you think maybe they package the Hicks with like a Glaber in order to get somebody back in return? I mean, Glaber seems
there's value in that.
There is, and I think he seems a little more expendable now than he was in years past. I think he's kind of shown what he is, and when he's on, he's on. When he's hitting gap to gap, that's Glaber. Then the power comes. When he's sitting there just trying to just launch him into the Harlem River, it's painful to watch. So and you have the kids coming up, you have the middle infielders coming up. So I mean,
they're all middle infielders pretty much.
Everybody. Know. So I mean, he's definitely expendable, and he doesn't make a ton of money. So I mean, it could be a good deal. I mean, do you see anything like that, Frank, or possibly a different weird under the radar trade like that Cashman does like to make?
I think if he makes a trade involving Glaber, it's going to surprise all of us and not be something that any of us would have seen coming. So I can't imagine what it would look like, but it seems like it's got Cashman surprise written all over it.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, if he signs Judge and gets that out of the way, then he can start making his moves. So I see that. Yeah. I see that splash. He might, like you said, package Donaldson and Glaber, and then maybe pull a Gene Segura.
Yeah.
Or a Fraser. Yeah.
Cliff
or a Trey Turner. Turner, who knows?
I mean, if you can get Donaldson's money off of the books, then you can go after a Trey Turner. But I mean, again,
it'd be hard to get that much off the books.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, you got Chapman coming off, you got Britton's coming off, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think before you can be comfortable dealing Glaber, I would need to know that, or Donaldson, frankly, I would need to know that LeMahieu's in a spot where he could play every day.
Yeah, because you need him at third base.
Either at second or at third or wherever you're going to use him, I want to know that he's ready to play full season.
Yeah.
Before you start jettisoning these other dudes.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it really seems like, the first of the dominoes that has to fall is the Judge deal. And once that's out of the way, then everything, I mean, that's, do you think he's going to drag this thing out, or do you think it gets done this weekend at the winter meetings, or do you think he's just going to milk it? And, because if he does want to win with the Yankees, this thing needs to get done, So
they've been saying that he's not going to want to milk it. He wants to sign early so that the team can build around him. Give the team that he signs with the opportunity to go out and get, instead of waiting out and letting these free agents get picked off the board, and then the team that he signs with is just left with who they get. So he's going to sign early. I see middle of next week.
Okay, I can dig that. Frank, your prediction on that?
I was going to say by the end of the year for sure, but the sooner the better.
Yeah, it kind of has to be. I mean, and like you said, DJ, they have to figure out what the hell's wrong with his foot, because now it's not a very quick recovery time with this injury, and if he's going to miss time in the regular season, you kind of need to figure this out, get this thing done. But I don't know if it's I'd read somewhere that the success rate maybe on this surgery isn't exactly the best, so maybe that's why they're trying to wait. But I don't know, man. I mean, DJ's a big part of that lineup when he's going right. He needs to be in there.
Absolutely.
So that's that's the kind of guy you want.
He's He's a strong defender. He's won a batting title in both leagues. I mean, he's got great bat to ball skills. He's, one of the old school type hitters who can poke a single through the right side, but he also can take a walk. He can do so many of the little things that these grip it and rip it, upper tank power guys don't really think about approach wise.
Oh, I 100% agree with that. And while we're talking about question marks with the Yankees, how about Andrew Benintendi? You think they bother with him, or do you think they just let him go wherever the hell he wants to go?
I like him.
I like him, but I mean, it's whatever. It's not the end of the world if he signs somewhere else.
But I mean, what's the free agent third left field market look like right now? It's not that deep.
I don't think it's very good.
Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo with a 4.8 WAR leading the league. Yeah, we're not going back to that dumpster fire.
Hey, with the shift band, Gallo's going to win a triple crown.
Yeah.
Hot take of the night.
Yeah, that's the hot take of the. Yeah, there it is. MVP Joey Gallo.
Yeah, there it is.
or Anthony Rizzo's going to hit 370 or something like this.
I could see Rizzo hitting about 280, between 280 and 290 though, with the shift band. I think he gets more through. I really do.
Interesting to see if any of these hard pull guys who get eaten up by the shift suddenly have like a resurgent year with the shift band. It might happen because they're also not allowed to play back on the grass. So
they
you
have
can't
to be on
play.
the dirt.
Yep. Got to be on the dirt.
Do you think
two on either side.
Do you think they bring the left fielder over to right field?
They can do that. They can do that. So they can still kind of pull a little bit of a shift. But I mean, it would be great if all of a sudden somebody goes the other way and just
right. But I mean, even when you could go the other way, none of the left-handed batters were going the other way though when they could.
Well, that's the thing.
And it was open.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true. But I mean, that would be hysterical, and that is something I hope that we see next year. Is they drag somebody over to short right field from left and just
spit on your no shift rule.
Maybe like a guy like Bader or something like that just hits one in the corner. Somebody with some speed and just a little inside the park, dumbass home run. I think
we might see unprecedented numbers of inside the park homers if they get cute with the outfield placement and no shift. I mean, it could be really, really interesting, actually.
I think it would be hilarious.
Or it could just stop all that nonsense right away. As soon as those inside the parkers start getting hit, they're going to be like, let's not do that. Let's just play it straight up.
This isn't going to work. Well, and it's true. It's it would be nice if Frank, I know you feel this way, and Chris, and think everybody does. It would have been nice if the guys could learn to go the other way against the shift. Absolutely. I mean, these guys are professional hitters. It's not like, it's not like these guys are idiots, but they just didn't. It's like if they can manage to do that and just poke one into the outfield, oh God, that's gonna be. Just cue up the Benny Hill music and just show me the highlights, man.
And just let him run.
Third baseman scramble. Yeah,
that would be hilarious watching third baseman just hightail it out there. Just like a guy the size of Pablo Sandoval just trying to run it down all the way.
Oh my goodness, comedy.
Did you guys see? Did you guys see that? Jose Abreu is a Houston Astro.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. That's a good move, man. I mean,
and the Astros just won, and
they're getting better.
And the Astros are a team that the Yankees have not had success against in October, and they're getting better. And I think that is kind of seeing that is what's fueling some of the frustration about Cashman not doing anything yet. Even the folks that are winning are making moves.
Yeah. I mean, and really, let's be honest. I mean, the Yankees need to make moves to be able to compete with, or not just compete with, beat the Astros. They need to. They have to get better to play them. And Abreu plays every day, man. He posts. He's in there like 150 plus games a year, and he's what was he MVP 3 years ago, something like that.
2020. I
Yeah,
think.
that guy's a menace.
2020?
And he's an RBI machine. I had some Jose Abreu tweets a few days ago, just showing his per 162 rate stats compared to some other hitters, and it's like the guy is a run producer. He hits for a respectably high average, and he drives in a ton of runs, and he's available every day.
That's the best
And,
ability.
yeah.
Availability.
Exactly. And Houston had. Gurriel was a batting title winner, but he's older and his bat was in decline. So he was platooning with Mancini a lot, who also didn't have like great numbers. But you plug in a guy like Jose Abreu consistently every day, and the Astros, especially compared to the Yankees, had very consistent lineup construction and batting order. When you have a guy that plays every day, and he's just got his spot, everybody shows up to the ballpark with an expectation. They know who they're hitting behind, who they're hitting in front of. And being able to just rely on that just takes so much of the mental fatigue out of things, as opposed to we're going to have 3 shortstops in 3 days and 3 leadoff hitters in 3 days and just reinvent the wheel. It's a day that ends in Y. Let's change the lineup.
Yeah. I believe me, I know. And it's crazy. If you think about it, Abreu put up these numbers on a team that wasn't that great. The White Sox were, underwhelming. But
he was the guy. He's the guy you're scared of.
Him and Tim Anderson, when Tim Anderson was healthy. He's got a streak too. But you put him in the middle of a lineup full of contact hitters. That's freaking dangerous, man. That's not good. So you gotta
it makes
have to hope
that much more annoying.
Yeah, I know. Just when you thought it couldn't possibly get any worse, they go and sign Jose Abreu.
They just keep getting worse, though. For us, they're a phenomenal team.
For us, yeah.
For anybody that says they hate the Astros for any of their stupid reasons and they don't give them the due respect that they're due, it's just they're kidding themselves, or they don't know baseball, because they're a great team. And if you're a Yankees fan that sits there and says, "How could you be a Yankees fan and say they're a great team?" Open your damn eyes. They've been a great team for a while now, and they put us through hell every season. Every season.
Listen, I don't like Alex Bregman, but he's one of my favorite hitters, honestly. I love his swing, I love his mechanics, I love his approach. And he's like a smug kind of dude that I don't care to spend time with, but he's an artist with the bat, honestly.
Yeah, he's fantastic, and they have a bunch of those guys. You have Tuve. Now you have a young kid in Pena that can just hit the ball anywhere. And God forbid Jordan Alvarez. They'll bring in a guy like Chas McCormick. Who the hell is Chas McCormick? And I don't know. All of a sudden, he's hitting the ball everywhere. So, I'm curious to see what they do with Verlander, if they re-sign him or not. But knowing the Astros, somebody else will just come up through the farm system and throw like J.R. Richard or something, and or Nolan Ryan, and just come out of nowhere. So it's
I've heard that a lot of teams are in on Verlander. It sounds like.
Yeah,
we're going to see Steve Cohen pick him up since he just lost to Grom. Watch.
That's a very good possibility. That's a damn good possibility, because that money can go directly to him, unless he decides to spread the money around. But I don't know. Steve Cohen doesn't seem like that type. Steve Cohen seems like he's going to try and make a splash now, and that would be quite the splash. God, imagine him. Imagine now Verlander goes to the other New York team. We're going to have to talk him off the ledges.
How about the old men, Verlander and Scherzer, back to back in the rotation?
Back together.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Back from Detroit. Yeah. Oh my God, that would be a nightmare, to be completely honest.
The old men can go sit on the porch with themselves and yell at the kids on the lawn.
Oh my God, man! I'll tell you, that's 5'5", 185. That's so. I'm trying to remember who else is in the Texas rotation right now, but over those 5 years, you're going to see Jack Leiter come up. You know,
Yeah.
you're going to see. I think they signed or drafted Kumar Rocker again, so you got the Vandy boys together in the minors. So you're going to have those three that you're going to see in the next couple of years. That's pretty ridiculous. So whatever the back end of that rotation is going to be, you know, they could make a little splash. Are they good enough to beat the Astros? I don't think so. But you know, over the next 5 years, it's possible. But I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting division. I mean, they're making some moves. The Mariners made a move today. They got, you know, Colton Wong for Jesse Winker. And I saw a lot of Yankee fans talking about Jesse Winker, but, you know, welcome to Milwaukee, Jesse Winker. But
and the Mariners also got Teoscar Hernandez earlier.
That's right. They did. They got, so I mean, you have him and Julio out in the on the outfield. That's, and I guess Mitch Haniger would still be out there, who's, you know, not a slouch when he's not.
When he's healthy, he's great. Yeah.
I mean, health has been his issue. So I mean, but when he's on, he's on. So I mean, they could be a really fun division to watch. And then you have the Angels,
who have some great players.
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, they're not good. You know, it's like, you know, it's, who knows if Anthony Rendon will come out of his hole.
What is it though? What is it though that makes them? I mean, they have all these players to build
ineptitude
around, and
ownership,
and God,
they just can't get pitching.
They
just can't get. Yeah, I mean, they just cannot get pitching, and that's really what it is, man. I mean, it's, you know, you have Ohtani going out there every like 6th day or so. You know, I mean, he gets the extra rest and the special treatment, so their rotation is like now this weird 6-man kind of amalgamation of whatever the hell it is. And then you get Ohtani going out there, and he, you know, great, he'll pitch great, but then you have, you know, a bunch of nobodies going out there. You had Syndergaard off the 50, but
what might hurt too is that a lot of these pitchers come up being used to a five-man rotation. That extra day of rest, because Ohtani needs that 6th day, might be fucking with them.
You're upsetting, you're upsetting the apple cart. Yeah, I agree.
That extra day. Well, shit. With you.
I know. Well, shit, that was a quick half hour.
Yeah, flew by.
That really did. That really went nuts. So what I'll do is I'll go to our esteemed panel, get some final thoughts about what they hope and what they might see this week from the Yankees, if anything, at the winter meetings. Chris, I will start with you because I like putting people on the spot, and this is your first time doing this.
Judge signs next week. They bring back an attendee, and sometime in the offseason they pick up Carlos Rodon. These are all pipe dreams, but I mean, Carlos Rodon one is going to be more of a pipe dream than anything. Oh, and they signed Trey Turner to play shortstop, and they move one of the kids over to second base. There you go.
That's a bold prediction right there.
That's not going to happen.
No, I know. It's nice to dream about. Last but not least, we're going to go over to the birthday man, Frank Gulino. What do you got, brother? What's your hot take prediction for these winter meetings? Yankees or otherwise?
I've got Judge staying in New York. I've got the Yankees signing a surprisingly good starter. Don't know who. I'd love to. I mean, it would be great if they signed a Verlander or something. But otherwise, I would love to know that. I mean, my pipe dream is being able to trade Donaldson or Hicks or both, and seeing if there's going to be an everyday role either for DJ or for one of the young kids. Starting on opening day, like, we're going with this guy for a full season at this position. I would just love to hear that.
Well, I'm all in for all that. I have no predictions aside from I hope I get to eat a Hodad's burger when I'm in San Diego. So that's all I know. I know not to predict anything. And last time I was at the winter meetings, there was some drunk guy screaming at a urinal in the hotel bar bathroom about Garrett Cole. So that was kind of interesting. And it was not Brian Cashman. But you never know. But I want to thank Chris Orosco, Frank Gulino, all you guys out there and wherever you are for tuning in. This has been High Yanxiety once again, the pre-meeting show. And we'll catch you again next time. And guys, thanks for coming on. Happy birthday. And
thank you so much,
guys. Let's go Yankees.
Go Yankees.